loro eye, loro elegua, a so kere meye, elegua, a la oye kira voce, elegua, a so kere meye, elegua.
Aquí está su hijo, Misaideva Funke, que en el día de hoy le está rendiendo mafirubales a nombre de Nayib Regalado y Noel Cosicú, Cosilló, Cosiaro, Cosiofo, Cosiña, Cosiara ayer y Cuba. Noel Regalado. Obvia Changó.
Ascoña.
Obvia Changó.
Ascoña.
Babami. Omi tuto natuto cantuto tuto laroye tutule tuto babá. Y amor librándola de Cosicú, Cosilló, Cosiaro, Fuiña, allá Fitibua, Covache, Lugunda y yo Chepe y todas las cosas.
There were several kingdoms around Nigeria. Benin, Togo, Ghana, Senegal, and Congo. And these are the people that were brought to the islands in Brazil,
Yes.
in Cuba. What the Spaniards didn't know, they considered all equal blacks a beast of work. They thought they were all spoke the same language and that they all understood each other without realizing that they brought 26 different races
Oh, wow.
with over 120 languages and dialects. But what they did have in common is ways of worshiping. And the worshiping was based in nature. Now, this religion arrives through Christopher Columbus, right? They were mostly baptized as Catholics. No two ways about it.
So they didn't have a choice.
No choice. So they begin to hide what they worship behind the Catholic saints. And from there they were Santería,
Yeah.
who means in Spanish worship of saints.
Okay.
But in the African side, the word saint don't exist. Exists the word Orisha.
Orisha.
And Ori is this part inside called your own consciousness.
Okay.
And Sha means protector or guide of your consciousness.
Okay.
Like a guardian angel,
Yeah.
to say. They began to practice the religion hidden from the Spaniards. The slaves were divided in groups. The field workers and the indoor slaves.
Okay.
The indoor slaves began to learn Spanish or Portuguese or French, whichever the masters. And occasionally happened that somebody in the family of the master will get sick. But at the time, doctors were very scarce.
Can imagine.
And it would take many days for a doctor to reach some of the farms or plantations. So one of the indoor slaves offered their service that they knew one of the slaves, they could help him.
Okay.
And it did help him, heal him. And as a gratitude, the master will allow him to practice in certain days, no under the supervision of the church,
Yeah.
their own tradition.
So they'd like every 6 weeks or whatever.
You
go
can
off
practice,
and do your own thing.
do your own thing, correct. Then, as the years pass, in the 1700s, they allow him to create Catholic fraternities,
Okay.
or cabildos, they call it. And all the blacks will get together under the patron saint of the church, but practice their religion.
Okay. So for example, you could be Saint Martin for one,
Right,
but you would be doing your
right, or La Caridad del Cobre, or St.
Yeah.
Francis, or whoever. But in reality, they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah. Just so they didn't get shot.
Few years back, I went to Haiti, and to fraternize with voodoo priest, who is another branch of this tradition. And I went to one of the most beautiful churches in Port-au-Prince with an incredible amount of frescoes of all the Orishas of voodoo.
Oh,
They are called loas.
okay.
It's been destroyed with the earthquake.
It's a shame.
And I was talking to the priest in French about the loas and how
Yeah.
come it's inside of the church. And in that moment, I see three black men walking in, sneaking into going to a side altar with a rooster. And they do a sacrifice in there behind the altar.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at them and I'm looking at the priest. And the priest is very nonchalant. And they finish and they go out and they put some coins in the collector box.
Yeah.
And I say to the priest, and you allow him to do that inside of the church? And he answered to me, we have to get him any way we can. So I was an altar boy. But I was kicked out of the church for getting drunk with the wine. Okay?
Good for you.
So an uncle of mine was a pastor of the Adventist church. So I went into the Adventist church and I became a teacher of the sabbatical school. And in a field trip, I became possessed with the spirit of the African and did pretty bizarre things according to them. They kicked me out.
Okay.
At the age of 16, I asked my father for emancipation.
Oh, wow.
And I began to travel the world as a hippie. So I ended up all over the planet. So I went to Israel to study the Torah and the kibbutz.
Okay.
Then I went to Qatar to study Quran. Then I went to India to study Bhagavad Gita. Then I went to Tibet to study Buddhism. Then I went to Japan to study Shinto.
So you got around a bit.
Right. But none of, even so, all of them were very interesting. Nothing reached to me.
Yeah, there was no big being.
No
Yeah.
a calling.
Yeah.
Till I came with Santeria.
And how did you first discover Santeria?
I discovered it because I walked into a bar at 1 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and there was a gentleman sitting on the bar drinking a scotch. And I come to him and I say in English, are you aware there is a big fat black lady dressed in blue and white next to you drinking from your own glass?
Oh, wow.
And he turns around and says to me, no English, Spanish. So I told him.
Yeah.
And he says, and you can see it? I said, of course, it's standing right next to you. He says, you have to meet my godfather. When he said my godfather, this was in New York. I worked for the boys and nightclubs and restaurants before. I thought he was referring to the Italian godfather.
Yeah.
But in reality, it was the religious godfather.
Okay. Yeah.
So godfather is in our tradition, the priest who initiates you to become a priest. So we call it godfather
Okay.
or godmother, whichever
Yeah.
it is, can
So
be male or female.
Women and men can do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Our religion doesn't forbid anybody to be a member of the religion. Meaning, men, women, straight, gay, Catholic, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim. And it doesn't take you away from your original religion.
Oh, okay.
It can work, cohabitate with your own religion. So what happened is this.
Yeah, anyway.
When you begin to learn this religion, then, and you make a contrast with your own religion, then you begin to become closer and closer. But it's not an imposition from us saying you have to drop this to be this. So I visited my godfather, and he became possessed when I walked into his house
Oh, wow.
with the African spirit. So he begins to call one of his initiated children, for them to translate, because in trance he was speaking an African language.
Okay.
And I said, don't call anybody, because I can see the spirit and I understand what you say.
Oh wow.
And I never knew before that I could understand what it was saying, but I did.
Yeah.
And the spirit looked at me and says, can you see me? And I says, of course I can see you. He said, describe me. And I began to describe him. And when I began to describe him, I became possessed. And I was very beautifully dressed because I thought I was going to meet the Godfather, right?
Yeah.
So I was in a suit with a tie and a shirt and jewelry.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I was a mess because I was rolling on the ground and drinking rum and smoking cigars and ripped my clothes because these people are African, so I bare their chest, you know. I ripped my clothing, the jewelry was on the floor, you know, and it was in a dirt place.
But wouldn't you have thought, I don't want to be in this religion now because
The
I'm ripping my
minute
clothes?
that I woke up out
Yeah.
of the trance, I said, I want to belong to this. I found my home.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was this?
39 years.
So what happened next? How did you become initiated?
Then
Yeah.
it's a huge ceremony. It lasts 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
The ceremony that you have to be in the house of the Godfather, and it's many ceremonies with many sacrifice of animals.
Oh, okay.
You know, goats, rams, she goats, roosters, hens, pigeons, quails, turtles, guinea hens. I mean, probably 150 animals.
Wow.
That they will all be clean, cooked.
Yeah.
Part of those animals offered to the Orishas, and the rest for us to eat. Inside of here
Yeah.
lives an Orisha called Obatala. And Obatala, Oba means king, Ta means great, La means enlightenment, or the king of the great enlightenment.
So he is a very powerful.
He's the most powerful of all the
Okay.
400 plus one Orishas that we have in the pantheon.
Oh.
Okay, it's a pantheon with 400 plus one. Now, why 400 plus one and not 401?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because 401 is a fixed number. 400 plus one means that God still can create a new Orisha for the advancement of the planet.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So where did you get this from? How does?
I got it the day I was initiated. And there are sacred things inside that we worship as the embodiment of these Orishas. Okay? Now, we have males and female Orishas. Okay? We have male and female Orishas. We have, for example, Obatala is the king of consciousness. He lives in the top of the mountain. We have a female Orisha that he's a priest of, called Yimaya. It means ella, mother of fishes. She rules the ocean. We have another Orisha called Oshun. She rules the rivers. We have another Orisha, male Orisha called Shango. He rules the dance, the music, and thunder. He will be like Thor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the equivalent of Thor.
So do they have that kind of European?
The original ones are the Africans, who, as we believe, traveled the world. Now, in Greece, Obatala is Zeus, Shango is Apollo, Oshun is Aphrodite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes.
Okay? In Egypt, Osiris, Horus, so on and so forth, and Babylon,
Well,
and so on
It would
and
make
so forth.
sense if human evolution was coming that way. You know.
And they did.
Yeah. So they'd bring their gods and goddesses with
And
them.
went east,
Yeah.
and they went around the globe. Even China has the same Orishas that we have. In Japan and Shinto has the same Orishas. Now, why in every of these ancient worlds, and all men will be the top of all the rest. Because he is an old man. So Sus is an old man. So Karnuk is an old man. Zoroaster is an old man. Buddha Dien is an old man. Confucius is an old man. So we represent the equivalence with this one all the way through, right?
How does it work? The reading.
A reading we do it with cowrie shells. Yeah. We use this, and through this, there are 21 in here. We use 16. Okay.
Well, why only 16?
Because 16 we consider is a double 8. 8 is the number of infinite.
Okay.
And it's the godly number. Oh. Okay? And 16 is the presence of God. Okay? So we use 16 cowrie shells. Correct? We use 16 cowrie shells. These ones, we call it the witnesses. So these ones face down, like, because we read this. We don't read these ones. Okay?
Okay.
These ones, make sure that these ones don't lie.
Oh, so they're like
They are the witnesses.
Yeah.
Okay? So we cast them. And as we cast them, we begin to take a numerical orders.
Okay.
And through the numerical combination, and there are 256 possible combinations,
Okay.
with 400 stories in each combination.
Where do the stories?
The stories we call it patakis, or fables, or legends, that relates exactly to the person.
Okay, so each of the combinations of the shells will correspond.
And each of the numbers or combinations, one or more Orishas speaks through those numbers.
Okay.
And then they give you the recommendation of what do we have to do to fix your problem. And if the Orisha says that everything is okay with your life, then they recommend what we should do to keep it okay and going better. But if something is wrong, they recommend you do these offerings like we're preparing and they are now to do, or we do sacrifices to clear your aura, your spirituality of this negativity.
So that's one thing I wanted to bring up about the sacrifices, because they're actually illegal in California.
No.
No.
It's not illegal anymore since 1992.
Okay.
We took the case. It was a Santero called Pichardo in Hialeah, Florida. And the city sued him and trying to stop the sacrifices because it says that they didn't have a permit for slaughtering animals in a private house. Okay? So they began lawsuits back and forth. They went all the way to the Supreme Court. The lawyer who took the case pro bonus happened to be also a rabbi, besides being a lawyer. And it says, if I don't defend you, tomorrow they will come after us for kosher food.
Exactly.
Because we sacrifice ritualistically to make kosher, right? So they will come after us. So they went to the Supreme Court and we won the case. And since 92, we are allowed to sacrifice animals because it's an intricate part of our religion. The religion cannot exist without the sacrifice of animals.
So you're fine to sacrifice in Los Angeles?
Oh yeah. In 2006, I moved to this house in Burbank, and the first thing I did was to sacrifice a goat to El Egua to open the roads for me and my life. A neighbor heard the goat and called the animal control and 3 police cars, and they say, "Oh, you cannot sacrifice in Burbank." And I said, "Well, outside if Burbank sees out of the United States of America, it's a federal law, and there's nothing that you can do or say." So he freaked out, didn't know what to answer. They call a supervisor, and an officer came back, and he says, "Yes, the gentleman has all the rights to sacrifice. The only thing that we ask you not to discard the carcasses on the streets or any public places." And it says, "And I will ask you a favor." It says, I've been an officer in Burbank Police 25 years, and it's the first time we have a Santero in here. So I would like you to come and give a class of sensitivity in the police department. So in case that happens again with somebody else, we prepare and we understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So I did.
So is it expensive to do it? Just as a logistic?
Santeria is very expensive.
Yeah.
The initiation today of somebody begins at $10,000
Why so much money?
because it involves 20, 30 people. It probably involves over $2,000 in animals.
Yeah.
Involves outfits that we have to make that cost $1,000.
Yeah.
It involves that you have to pay everybody that comes to work. Involves that you have to feed these people, 20, 25 people for 7 days.
Oh, really? So did
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, they're not going to be like happy with Denny's. So Santeria is seen as the black religion or a black religion.
Now the funny part was this: when I opened this 25 years ago, 100% of my clients were Latinos. Why? Because Latinos are more open up to the extrasensorial, because the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, they all have some.
Yeah.
Today, 75% of my clients are Americans, Anglos.
Oh, okay. So, do they treat it how, you know, someone would treat a tarot card reader? You know, just it's almost like a takeaway religion.
They come here for a service. We don't proselytize.
No.
See, we don't go knocking at doors like Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or the Mormons, right? Or we didn't stay in a corner with a bullhorn and say, "Follow me with a chicken," right?
Yeah.
Follow me. People comes to us. So how would I look at myself? A service provider, like a shrink, a lawyer, a doctor, a barber. I fix your problem, go away. The next time you have hemorrhoids, come to see me. Simple as that. My license doesn't allow me to do nothing medically.
Of course.
Or call myself a healer.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm a spiritual healer. Now, if through my spiritual healing you feel better, it's okay.
What a great coincidence.
Miracle.
Yeah.
I'm Harry Potter. Okay?
Yeah. You do look a bit like Harry
And
Potter.
look, I am Harry Potter. Look at all those magical potions in there.
So, where did you get them all from? Did they come from Africa and
I
the
have from
Caribbean?
Africa, I have from Cuba. The majority I bring it from Cuba.
Because you mentioned earlier that, you know, Santeria it has traditionally been a Cuban religion.
Well, it's the first island that this religion touched.
Yeah.
Brazil is very powerful with it.
Okay.
Haiti is powerful with a branch of it. Jamaica is powerful with a branch of it. Belize is powerful. Parts of Honduras and Salvador has this.
So basically anywhere where there was a large population of
Blacks.
West African,
Blacks.
Yeah.
The only country, and now it was introduced 25 years ago, is Argentina.
So you mentioned you do go back to Cuba.
I just was there in September.
What do you go back to Cuba for?
To ceremonies, to do initiations.
You made it a more powerful religion in Cuba because of the circumstances with the slaves. It's got to have a lot more emotional resonance, and
it became more magic.
Yeah.
In Africa, it's a philosophy.
Okay.
In Cuba, become magical because they use it to protect and defend themselves.
So, can it be used for bad, or what we would call bad?
You mean the negative side?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
You can shake my hand.
Yeah.
And you also can slap me.
I can slap you.
I mean, meaning you can be good or you can be
bad.
No. I will answer back and punch you.
Yeah, we're fighting.
Okay? So that means we all have the power to be good and to be bad.
Yeah.
That's the balance and equilibrium and the creation. Now, it begins with God. According to the Bible, God created the angels and archangels. And the most beautiful one, Lucifer, turned around and he became God's enemy. Now, being God the Almighty Powerful, he could have done and he would disappear. But he didn't. Because if you don't have evil, How you recognize goodness?
True. True.
If you don't have white, how you know what's black?
True.
So everything in the universe, it's a balance.
Yeah, but that's it. You have to get the balance. If there's loads of people practicing evil, then
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, no Santero, including myself, will practice the evil. But you fuck with me, and I will protect myself. Now, if in the process I crash you,
then
don't blame me.
yeah,
It's like you throwing to me a baseball ball, and I catch it in the air, and I throw it back at you, and it break your face. I'm a better pitcher,
yeah,
but it was your ball,
yeah. I started it.
so you can blame me.
But do you get people that come in and
Or
say-
they come and they say, I
ask
wanted
one-
to fuck up this one.
Yeah. And what do you say?
I do a reading.
Yeah.
And if the Orishas agree, they can be done.
Okay.
Then I become an executioner. And in England, when the king sent somebody to have the head chopped off, and the hooded men
Yeah.
came, the person who was ready to lose the head will give a gold coin to the executioner, saying, it's not you.
Make it clean.
Make it clean, make it fast, make it painless.
Yeah.
But it didn't put the blame on him.
Yeah.
If it's somebody here throws the switch in the electrical chair, or puts the injection, or the gas chamber, you can't blame him. It's the courts who decided.
Yeah.
He performs a duty.
Yeah.
I perform a duty if I have to fuck you up.
Can I be really cheeky and don't fuck me up? Can I buy a cigar off you? I'm really,
Bye.
really liking the look of those.
There we go.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
My pleasure. So,
But there must be. So, can people like yourself, obviously not yourself, can they just do it? Disagree with the reading?
Absolutely.
And just go and try and fuck someone up.
absolutely. Absolutely. There are people here, especially women, are a very vindictive breed.
Okay.
Okay? Women are like elephants. They never forget nothing. See, men's, we go to a pub. We get drunk. We fist fight. We bloody.
Yeah.
And then we keep drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And we call each other's friends.
And we all
Okay?
get
Just
on
like
with
the
it.
hooligans in football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In soccer.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Women's keep it in. And it could pass 20 years. And they will still go after you.
Shit. I'm fucked.
Okay?
Yeah.
They never forget.
So, are you just quite content, happy here? You got a good life, or have you any plans to expand to a range of
No,
shops?
I was offered. I initiated several American actors
Could you
and the religion.
could you say any more on?
Forrest Whitaker,
Oh, okay. Okay.
he's a babalao, okay, of my religion.
Good actor.
Very good actor. Jamie Presley. Okay, I initiated her in Cuba.
Wow.
Tamela Jones,
Okay.
I initiated her in Cuba. Okay, and I believe most people, not just in Los Angeles, but all over,
Yeah.
are becoming tired with the organized religions. And they looking for alternate possibilities.
Yeah.
And they love to look for more natural things.
Yeah.
That's why herbalism become very popular. That's why acupuncture now is popular and recognized.
Yes.
Chinese healing is accepted today.
Yeah.
You know, so people are walking away from the religions. They see a lot of hypocrisy in the religions. For example, the Catholic religion with the pedophile priest, but don't allow him to get married.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember I went with my mother to Assisi in Italy after the quake destroyed the St. Francis of Assisi church. I was when the Pope, the one before, came to rebaptize the church, and across the street from the convent of St. Francis is the convent of St. Clair, right? Who was the very famous movie from C. Fiorelli, Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. Remember the Sifire Ledan about St. Francis and St.
yeah.
Clair? And the digging to the reconstruct, they found 600 babies, abortions of the nuns through 400 years. From the priest coming this way, fucking in here, coming back in here, and them aborting here. The Catholic Church is the richest church in the world. The second richest church in the world is the Mormons. The Mormons came after Proposition 8 about the gay marriage in California. And there's more queers in the Mormon church than a gay bar. Because do as I say, no as I do. These people describe God as a peeping Tom that comes to look at what you do in your bedroom.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit what you do in your bedroom.
So have you ever been frightened practicing Santeria?
I've seen things in Haiti that will scare the lights out of you. I saw real zombies.
Can you tell us more?
I saw, and it's coming up now, November the 2nd, the Day of the Dead. They go to the cemeteries and they steal bodies to take it to the mountains and make zombies out of it.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, yes.
And you saw one of these zombies?
And they are not eating flesh.
Yeah.
They don't eat, sleep, or drink. They work 24 hours around the clock on the fields.
So it's like buying yourself a robot.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
But they're already dead when they go get them.
They're already dead.
So, what about the relatives? Aren't they a bit? Or
They do it at night, and they do it without the knowledge of it. And that's why in every cemetery in Haiti, you have the army with machine guns checking that.
Yeah.
Especially November the 2nd.
So that's a very auspicious day for it.
Varies. It's the day of Gede, who is the one who owns the cemetery. It's called the Baron de Cementaire, the Baron of the Cemetery. You know, and he's a trickster, just like a Legua. And it's very funny. In your country, my dear sir, next to Germany is the country with the most witchcraft satanic covenants in the planet. And you even have a first minister with a huge scandal back in the 60s called Profumo, who was a practitioner in a satanic covenant.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So England, including as one of the children of Queen Victoria, who was Jack the Ripper.
Yep, heard that before. Yeah.
Okay? Edward.
Yeah.
Okay?
And that was for satanic reasons. Maybe.
Of a freak out person, one or the other. But it could be a combination of both. So in England, who was invaded by Romans, who was invaded by Celtics, who was invaded by Visigoths, who was invaded by Nordics, a lot of that stuff stayed behind.
Yeah.
And you want to talk to me about magic when you have a character called Merlin?
Yeah.
Or druids?
Yeah, but we.
Or Stonehenge?
Yeah, it's a pretty magical place actually when you put it like that.
Okay. True or false?
True. But we don't have many, like over here in, like this is open, this is a shop, there's a Chinese takeaway.
You think you don't have it in England?
But we don't see them as much.
You don't see it in London, the witchcraft stores?
Yeah, but they're just like, there's something about Santeria that feels genuine when, like, sometimes you go in the witchcraft stores, they just got crystals and it's that old woman who smells.
It's the European version.
Yeah, it feels a bit.
You sanitize things. Wicca, the women who practice Wicca were witches.
Yep.
Okay? And they're all supposed to be like a Snow White, ugly with a pimple in the nose. Who the fuck would follow somebody like that? They were gorgeous women who worship nature.
I would guess that it was.
Now, how they describe Satan, like this goat head of a goat with a male's body and a pentagram, right? Okay, the goat is the animal that we sacrifice to Eshu, who is the goat opener.
Okay.
Now the pentagram is just like the Star David. Look at the Star David.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
Okay, this is the penis. This is the vagina.
Oh. Oh. Simple.
Life.
Yeah. I never noticed that. It's like coming in to get knowledge in here.
You see?
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, Santeria or Yoruba tradition, even so, that is surrounded by folklore, magic, legends. When you study the fables philosophically, they have a lot of meaning. And it's a way in an oral tradition, because Africans began with an oral tradition, to teach future generations about things. Show me any written thing by Jesus. And he knew how to write in Hebrew, read Hebrew, and he spoke Aramaic. But he didn't leave nothing written. He spoke in parables, little vignettes, who are easy to remember, like lullabies that were sung to you when you were a child.
Exactly.
And you remember it forever.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the way the original traditions were taught.
Elewa soanya, alaroye masankio, elewa soanya, elewa o, elewa soanya, elewa o.
Feminita Gómez, la bendición de Ochá, la bendición de Fundolada, el huyá de los... Obvia legua,
Aquania.
obvia legua,
Aquania.
alafio mo, alafio ma. Sara yeye vacuno, Sara yeye vacuno, Sara yeye vacuno.
Maye simuyure, eye loro eye loro eye, elewa o, elewa soanya, elewa o, eye loro eye. Por todas las cosas malas, legua, que usted siempre me cubra de lo que yo no me pueda cubrir. Y el que come, toma agua. Ecumeni, ecumeni.
Elile, elo chinche, ele mocoyo le, guamocoyo le, mocoyo le, guamocoyo, acuayo marico. Obvia legua.
Aquania.
Begüeña, trillo budaviode, Jorgito Besá y Falle.
Y nosotros que le rendimos más firupales, a librarla de cosicú, cosilló, cosiofo, cosiña, cosiarayé, aricú, babagua. You see the tongue?
Yeah. Where'd you get one of them from?
On the market.
Do people eat them?
Yeah, it's Jewish people
Yeah.
eat tongue sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We collect paintings, masks, art.
Aren't you worried about someone breaking in and taking it?
No,
Because you're protected, sort of thing.
not just that, I have alarm too. I'm a practical man. I'm a practical man. I believe in my things, but I also believe in whatever you need to do.
Elewa soanya, alaroye masankio, elewa soanya, elewa o, elewa soanya, elewa o.